Hello everyone, and welcome back to Ani Monolith's light novel summary series for Tensei Shitara Slime Dadaken. Picking up right after the last chapter. It was deep into the night, yet the battlefield was lit as bright as day. The clash between two true dragons had ignited the sky and scorched part of the Great Jura Forest. Fortunately, the entire city had already been evacuated into the labyrinth. Otherwise, it would have been reduced to ashes. Even the gate connecting the labyrinth to the outside world had been destroyed. Seeing that the Jura Forest hadn't been completely consumed by the flames, Rimuru realized both Veldora and Velgrind were holding back, carefully controlling their power to prevent massive collateral damage. Despite Velgrind's fierce attacks, Veldora remained composed and even seemed to have the upper hand. That gave Rimuru some peace of mind, but a sense of unease lingered. Rudra, even without Velgrind at his side, was still unnervingly calm. Why was he so confident? On screen, the battle between the dragon siblings escalated. They exchanged roaring blasts of fire, barriers, and magical assaults in a fierce back and forth. Veldora had greater mana volume, but Velgrind had far superior combat experience and mana control. For Rimuru, it was the first time witnessing Veldora fight seriously, and he was surprised. The once goofy dragon was now fighting evenly with Velgrind, who had previously overpowered the primordial demons. Since being unsealed, Veldora had grown tremendously stronger, thanks to his secret training and mastery of a new, ultimate skill, Investigation King Faust. According to Raphael, this skill manipulates probability and allows Veldora to instantly analyze and counter enemy abilities. It was essentially cheat tier. Rimuru believed very few could stand a chance against him now. Just then, Veldora launched an invisible attack that seemed to land a direct hit on Velgrind. Rimuru recognized it. Storm Blast, Veldora's proud secret technique. It looked random at first glance, but the wave patterns converged at precise coordinates, making it nearly impossible to detect or evade. With moves like that, Rimuru was convinced. Velgrind was going down. But then, everything fell apart. A flying ship entered the battle zone, and standing at the bow was Lieutenant Kondo, dressed in his military uniform. Wait, wasn't he supposed to be on the other side of Dworgen? Rimuru turned to the other display. Kondo had vanished. Raphael's calm report came in. Forbidden spell, Dead Birthday was completed 1 minute ago. Just 1 minute, and Kondo had crossed battlefields. A heavy feeling settled in Rimuru's chest. He didn't know what was coming, but it felt dangerously wrong. Then another figure appeared beside Kondo. Rudra, identical in appearance to the one still sitting across from Rimuru. It hit him. Parallel existence. Rimuru had been completely outplayed. There was no time to act. On the screen, Kondo raised his gun and fired at Veldora. The bullet flew faster than sound, nearly at light speed, and struck the storm dragon directly. A bullet should never harm a true dragon. Their bodies are impervious to conventional weapons, but this time Veldora screamed in pain. The bullet didn't just pierce him, it unleashed a corrupting force. His body writhed in agony, and for a moment his regeneration couldn't keep up. Then Rudra raised a hand toward Veldora. It all happened too fast. Rimuru could only watch, frozen, unable to reek. "Let me explain something to you," Rudra said, standing tall. "This is the power of a true emperor, Regalia Dominion. Absolute control over any conscious being. Even the true dragon can't escape it." As he stood and turned to leave, Rudra calmly stated, "Veldora was troublesome, yes, but it's done now." The moment he finished speaking, Rimuru felt a sharp, unnatural pain in his chest, like something was tearing his soul apart. Alert! The soul corridor connecting Master and Veldora has been severed. Abilities Storm, Dragon Summon, and Storm, Dragon Restoration under the ultimate skill Storm. King Veldora are now unusable. Rimuru froze. Then came the fury. "Don't screw with me!" In a burst of rage, Rimuru threw a punch with godlike speed, aiming straight for Rudra's face. But it was too late. The blow hit nothing but air. Rudra's body vanished like mist. He had deactivated his parallel existence. "I gave you a chance," Rudra's voice echoed. "You're now trapped in this fortress of dreams. Think hard, surrender while you still can." Then Rudra disappeared completely. But Rimuru was no longer listening. The pain, the anger, the betrayal, it swallowed everything. "Don't mess with me!" He screamed until his voice cracked, punching himself in the face over and over. But no matter how hard he hit, it didn't hurt. Not physically, only the agony inside burned. His rage spiraled into self-loathing. He had sensed the trap when he first entered this space. With his level of power, escaping should have been easy, but he had been careless, overconfident. And now, Veldora was gone. Damn it. Damn it all. Xion, Diablo, Benimaru, Sue all rushed in to stop him. Even Raphael activated defensive mode to prevent further self-harm. Rimuru forced himself to breathe to steady the storm inside. Sorry, I lost control. Thanks, everyone. But he was lying. The fury hadn't faded. If anything, it was rising, a tidal wave that refused to stop. He couldn't let Veldora go. He wouldn't. The Empire had crossed the line. Mercy? That was no longer an option. Rimuru would show them hell. They wanted war? Then war it is. With everything he had, Rimuru made his next move. He would teleport directly to Veldora. While Rimuru was being stalled by Rudra's chatter, far away in Tempest, a woman appeared before the entrance of the labyrinth. Inside the control room, Veldora froze when he saw her image on the screen. It was none other than his older sister, Velgrind, the Scorched Dragon. Beside him were Cheris, Ramirez, and Beretta. None of them looked particularly reassured. Half of the labyrinth's Elite 10 were still in evolutionary slumber. Gadra had taken the Colossus Golem to reinforce Dworgen. Ramirez, as usual, tried to dodge the situation with her typical, "this has nothing to do with me" attitude. With limited support, the group decided to rely on the labyrinth itself to stall Velgrind. The structure was to be impenetrable. Even Veldora himself would struggle to breach it. With Ramirez's restoration abilities and the labyrinth's defenses, they were confident Velgrind wouldn't be able to drag him out. I don't know why she's here, but going solo was a dumb move. Veldora tried to reassure the others. We've got each other. We'll be fine. But his face twitched with tension. Just 2 days ago, Veldora had been flattened by Velsard. Sure, his body had healed, but the trauma still lingered, and now another sister showed up? That wasn't good news. Veldora, if you're a good boy, come outside. Her voice echoed directly into his mind. He knew what that meant. If he stepped out, he'd get stomped. No chance, and no way she was breaking through the labyrinth. Oh, you're not coming out? Then I'll gently warn you once. Everyone knew what that tone meant. Ramirez panicked. Her interpretation? If Veldora came out, maybe only he'd get smashed. If he stayed, they'd all die. I know! Everybody prepare for impact! Veldora ordered them to prepare defenses. Then Velgrind raised her crimson spear. Despite Veldora's confidence in the labyrinth, she obliterated the first 50 floors in one strike. The rest of the structure trembled on the brink of collapse. Veldora stared, dumbfounded, unable to believe what he just witnessed. This is a scam, he muttered. Reports from Labyrinth administrators confirmed it. The structure was critically damaged and close to breaking down. Just then, a telepathic message from Rimuru popped into his head. Hey, you good? You idiot? This isn't the time to chat. My sister's right outside. She's going to kill me. But Rimuru's steady tone helped Veldora regain his composure. He realized Rimuru couldn't come to help. Whatever he was facing must be serious too. I'll take full responsibility. Do what you have to. With those words, Veldora stood tall. It was up to him now. He stepped outside the labyrinth, alone. Ramirez and the others watched, concerned. They knew Veldora was powerful, among the strongest beings in the world, but he was still inexperienced in real combat. His sisters, especially Velsard, had always been his natural enemies. He remembered his past losses against Velsard, the white dragon whose ice abilities countered his storm-based attacks perfectly. Her power would freeze even the wind itself, rendering his storms useless. But those losses taught him something. His time training inside Rimuru's stomach wasn't wasted. He gained mental resilience, battle wisdom, and most importantly, mastery of his ultimate skill, Investigation King Faust. This ability allowed Veldora to see through enemy powers and respond with the most effective counter. It was a cheat-tier skill, Raphael had explained to him. In the past, he couldn't even sense Velsard's overwhelming aura, but now he could. And during their last fight, he even managed to hold his own. Sure, he still lost, but it wasn't a complete wipeout. That alone was progress. And if he could stand against Velsard, maybe Velgrind wasn't as impossible. Veldora reassured himself. Velgrind was strong, fast, and skilled, but she didn't have the elemental advantage Velsard did. And now, thanks to Rimuru's training and trust, he wasn't the same Veldora who used to recklessly rampage. If I could survive Rimuru's training, I can face anything, he muttered. And so, with a burst of laughter, "Quahahaha! Let's see what you've got, sister." Veldora stepped forward, face to face with Velgrind. This time, he wouldn't run. the showdown begins. And that's where today's video ends. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next Ani Monolith recap.